Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jelial. In this incarnation, today the Sun in Libra perfected the opposition with Neptune retrograde in Aries, and tomorrow it is going to do so with the trines with Uranus retrograde in Gemini and Pluto also retrograde in Aquarius. So this is the cosmic guide that participated of the Virgo eclipse and of the equinox. So beyond I mentioned what I mentioned on Sunday, some people could have been experimenting this sensation of confusion or feeling lost, or that something is losing sense. In the case of the two first, notice if it is truly confusion or actually is resistance to take the direction that your intuition is dictating right now, that you need to take. Could also, this sensation of being lost could also appear because perhaps there is an information that needs to be clarified or being revealed, and that is going to happen in the right moment when we are ready to receive that. So it is not actually that the person is lost, but it is that it is not trusting in the process. Other perspective of this opposition with Neptune could be, feeling with this low energy. Especially if we are approaching spaces or dynamics that are not linked with what our soul requires right now. This lack of inspiration or apathy, this could be given effectively because there are spaces that are not connected with us anymore, or again because we are not surrendering to life, because there is a desire to control when this is about accepting and taking life in the way that is presenting. It is about also acting regarding what life is proposing to us right now, because Neptune in Aries, it is much more related to decisive actions. So the loss of sense could be also linked with this, with not understanding or not surrendering to the currents of the soul. Well, also this opposition in the context of the square between Mars and Scorpio and Pluto could be I am allergic today, very allergic. That's why my voice is a little bit nasal. This aspect could be linked with people acting in aggressive ways regarding their beliefs, ideals, dogmas, and spiritual lines, philosophies, or occurring projections from those places. I am seeing a lot these days how certain knowledge are miscredit because of this, with quotation marks, this unprogramming or transcendence of the ego, when there are things that are actually very valuable. And in some way, I think that every vision has this point of light behind its distortions or its layers. I am referring that there is something real, a hidden essence. For example, every religion speaks about a God. Then, because of the conditionings, control of masses, modifications of historical passages, omission of texts, each one of them are going to believe that only their God is the real one, or their form of connecting with that God is the only one, or even, they can put these physical forms in God. That is other thing. But the truth is, or the truth that I've been experimenting and connecting with, it is that God is infinite. It is the Ein Sof that is called in Kabbalah. I love this term, but you can use them also. Sorry, I'm mixing languages. The original source from which is emanating everything that it is. So it is this essence that is present in a hidden or distorted way, in many cases, in all spiritual dogmas and in all that exists, in every plane. So if we translate this to ideologies, it happens exactly the same. There are people that are going to think this is the way, this is the system, the construction that is going to work because of these reasons. I am supporting this. And there could be others that are going to think, no, I totally believe the opposite. This is the ideology. This is the way we can do things. And they could have very valid reasons, actually. But Neptune, that always remembers that everything is unity, even if we are not aware of that, it is calling us to understand that the souls with this capacity to feel love, compassion, and empathy, because not everyone that is incarnating here are able to feel that. What they truly want is basic needs covered, because if we don't have something to eat, it's very difficult with to connect with our will of transcendence and growth, evolutionary and spiritual evolution. Because if we are not, even if they are not aware of that, their souls know it, because evolution of matter, evolution of technology, that truly doesn't serve if we are not growing in consciousness, if we are not using those tools, those things as means at service of love, at service of something higher and transcendent. And with transcendent, I am referring that not only, not only observe for our own benefit, the benefit of my identity, the benefit of the people that I know. It is just, it is also about working and acting and seeding from the place that we are occupying to this collective well-being. In this seed, it is not deposited in something or someone on the outside. It is, each one of us taking the responsibility from the place that we are occupying. And I truly believe I truly believe that taking a name or a label to make a social movement, it is more that of the things that we have been experimenting, because every person from their intentions have been imposed their ideologies, and seeing those ideologies as the solution. And what truly matters, it is not the label, it is not the name, it is the content, it is the level of light that the people have been integrating. And now is the moment to understand that there is no one solution. It is an individual path of each soul, so each one of us can discover our function and offering what we came here to offer. And in that resonance, we can, re-encounter and find and reconnect with each other. It is not a forced union that we are doing from a label or making identity in an area of security for the mind or for the ego. It is the consciousness about what our body, our soul, and our purposes require. And then, the cosmos reconnects us and re-encounter us. And we don't need to do anything about, the people that we believe they have been distorted. Beyond that, our perception could be not that certain. But if we are, that occupied judging that, perhaps we need to turn our focus inwards in our own imperfections. This happens to everyone, but I think that is a call to return, because the path always puts us in our place. The path gives us the lessons of humility that are necessary, so we can put ourselves down the pedestal. I don't know, I'm inventing that word, I think, but from this place of illusion of superiority, but also to recognize what we can do, because many people have difficulties to trust in themselves, and there are things that are required from us, and it is necessary to learn to trust in ourselves. Because of that reason, step by step, the point in which we are now, it is the point that we need to transit. Okay, on the other side, tomorrow, September 24th, the moon is going to enter in Scorpio. And this is going to be very intense, because it is going to make contact with Mars in Scorpio at the moment that it enters, and square with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So these are days where what we are feeling, we are going to do so with much intensity. The anger, the sadness, the fears, the perceptions have also the tendency to the extremes. This is to observe, not to condition ourselves. So if something is bothering us from other person, could be amplified at these moments. Or if we are okay with a circumstance, well, that is cool, but it is important to observe that we are not acting from this euphoria of the moment that is totally attached to a person or a situation that is leading us to make decisions that are not belonging to a true connection with ourselves. But what we want is more of that emotion. in a great extent, this is the reason because many people have difficulties to put an end to relationships that are not evolutionary anymore, because there is an addiction to the emotional adrenaline, to what the other is generating on me. So when that moment passes by and that euphoria falls, that is going to fall as much as it ascended. Now, if you are feeling intensely passionate about something and you're vibrating with that, and you know that that thing is making you grow, the Scorpion energy is to give it all. You can think in flamenco dancers. I really do love that dance. Because they require a lot of passion and intensity to do that, what they do. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.